spanning the globe for the latest information, the ins and outs, the ups and downs, and the behind-the-scenes story.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Will and Willis Show. Hey, today, not only is Will here with us, but coming all the way from the Five from the Road. Am I saying that right?
You done messed it up, right?
Oh, five for the road?
It's Five for the Road.
Five for the road.
Music podcast.
Jay Scott, welcome into the program.
Thank you for the invite today. I'm glad to sit down and talk to you guys here in your clandestine recording suite. The underground bunker safe from all the troubles of the world.
Hidden away in Hanahan, South Carolina, where no one can find us. Oh. Does it show up on most GPS maps or not?
Turn it
I don't
off.
even know.
Turn it off.
Oh, we're going to have some fun today. We're going to discuss, and right here in our lovely notes, the WWE Royal Rumble will be coming to you live from the WWE Network and pay-per-view on January the 31st. And we have a little match preview. We're going to go down the card, and there's some matches that haven't been announced yet. But we're going to speculate as to a few that might be added to the card, either on this week's edition of SmackDown or next week's edition of Raw. So let's get right into it. Actually, I want to save the Men's Rumble for last.
Okay.
Let's go to... Well, this was a topic Will and I talked about last week. WWE Championship. Drew McIntyre, the champion, versus Goldberg. Will, I'll let you take the first stab at this one. What are your predictions and why?
I was hell-bent on going with Drew McIntyre on this one because it was the fresh young lion out the gate just handling business. And then I watched an interview. Well, they asked Jeff Jarrett who he think he was going to win. And just looking at him and remembering how much hell the NWO caught from Goldberg in that little bit of area, I'm like, I don't know. I said, that 50, he wrecked Dolph Ziggler at Super Showdown at 52,
right,
man.
Sure.
Come on.
Drew McIntyre is a different beast.
Well, if he does like Bret Hart and stick one of them steel plates under his shirt, oh, he's got it. But I got to go with the spear and jackhammer. Goldberg's new champion.
He's going for Goldberg. Let's bring it over to our guest, Jay Scott. Jay.
So I'm going to agree with Will, but for a different reason. So I think... and this opinion of mine has gone back and forth over the last couple of days, but I finalized it today, and I'll tell you my theory. It's conspiracy theory about what's going to happen. Goldberg is going to win the title, so Drew McIntyre can win it back in front of the crowd he didn't win it in front of last year.
In WrestleMania.
That's a good...
So since they've announced there's going to be fans at WrestleMania, I think they want to create a big moment. So I think you're going to see Drew recapture the title at Mania and get made for real, like he should have been made last year, but because of COVID, there was no one there.
Right.
And Goldberg is still a big mainstream name. I mean, they're going to sell whatever tickets they make available anyway.
Right.
But I think the engagement rate they get from people is going to be a lot higher with Goldberg in the main event than without him. So I think that's what we'll be looking at.
Are you sure Goldberg is going to be in that main event?
I'm positive.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm positive also.
All right.
Yeah, for Jay's reason, I'm also picking Goldberg. I had a similar theory. Not only that, but I think Raw is a little lean on the heel side as far as somebody that can get the crowd excited to see Drew McIntyre go against. So right now, I think Goldberg's a good, solid choice. There are 2 pay-per-views after the Rumble. You could easily slot somebody in there to get killed by Goldberg, if he works those pay-per-views. But yeah, I think you're absolutely on target about putting Drew McIntyre over in front of a crowd. So I also go with Goldberg to win the title.
I'm going to remember you said that when we talk about the Rumble match.
I got one more thing to add to that, too, to kind of flesh out my theory a little bit. You've got, I think it was Elimination Chamber and then Fastlane.
I wrote them down.
Coming up before WrestleMania.
Yeah, it's those 2.
They need people in those main events. Mm-hmm. So if Drew McIntyre loses the title to Goldberg, he has to earn his way back in somehow. So then you've got 2 main events from the Raw side for the 2 pay-per-views leading to WrestleMania, because Goldberg's not going to do anything.
Right, exactly.
And
So
Drew is not going to fight Brock again unless it's WrestleMania.
I don't think so. No.
That's the match I'd like to see.
Thank you.
I'd love to see
That's
that.
what I want to see at the Mania, because I was like...
That's what I'd like to see, but I just don't think we're going to get it, though.
Yeah, I'm questioning that too. But yeah, like I said, I always find it uncanny that Jay and I have similar thought processes, probably because we grew up under the same trainer. But I also think Goldberg, for those reasons, and it's kind of light on the Raw side as far as somebody that Randy Orton's got his own problems with the Fiend. I would like to see the Fiend versus Drew McIntyre, but I don't think that's going to happen either. I think they're going to hold off on that.
Question.
Answer.
Why haven't they really, really utilized Big E yet?
Big E's on the other channel, though.
Or
SmackDown.
Keith Lee?
I don't...
Or Bobby Lashley?
Oh, I know where this is going.
Well... Do you have a good answer for that?
Because they're black.
Oh, ouch! Controversy on the channel already.
Whoa.
And WWE doesn't push black people.
Wow. He does.
Call me Kanye, but it is.
No.
Oh, no. I've been
actually have a
waiting for
point.
this a long time.
Now, I'm not going to jump on the Keith Lee train because I think that train is way overhyped. But Big E, I would say anyone in the New Day is
Right.
of A-list talent, world champion capable. We've seen it with Kofi, and Kofi and Daniel Bryan, unfortunately, they kind of hit their peak at a weird time.
Right.
But Big E could easily be the world champ. He's a tremendous example. He's on every platform. He's everything you want in a world champion.
Big E.
But tell me why he can't have the title. Gee, I wonder. Now, not to say that won't be like I don't want to cast aspersions on the WWE, but like. Not to say that won't happen, because maybe that's happening now, but historically, you haven't seen a black dude in the driver's seat. And then when Kofi was in the driver's seat, it was great. It was good. It was good stuff. And then he gets squashed, and then we're done. He's never going to be world champ again.
Right.
You know.
But he got squashed by the right person.
I would agree with that to a point. But if you put Brock Lesnar in this role of being like the dragon guarding the horde, if he kills everybody all the time, then who are you building?
Yeah.
It's like he's
You can't
Galactus out there in the universe. Like, no matter how strong a team of Avengers you have, Galactus can still eat the Earth. So
But you have the Beyonder.
I think
Who's the Beyonder in WWE? I don't know if anybody else.
Big E.
It could be
It could
Big
be.
E, yeah.
Because Big E can hang with anybody.
It should be Big E.
He can brawl, he can wrestle, he's a powerful guy, he's in great shape, he looks good, he talks, he is 100% the total package.
And he's ready.
And he's ready.
got the seasoning now. He's ready.
You tell me that Big E wins the Royal Rumble and goes on to win the title at WrestleMania, I'll say great, long
I would
overdue.
love it.
Make it happen.
While we may be casting some aspersions.
You good, Will?
Yeah.
Oh, man. It's music.
So let's go to Universal Championship, Roman Reigns versus Kevin Owens. Now this started out kind of weird for me because originally they had a gauntlet match and it was won by an unconscious scrap iron Adam Pearce. I almost said that wrong. Former NWA champion, but however it's since been switched to Kevin Owens. Here's the problem I have with this match.
He looks like Billy Corgan.
He does look like Billy Corgan. Yeah, a lot. Yeah. I would agree with that.
I was hoping for the Adam Pearce match. I was geeked up about that.
I would have paid to see that. I don't like the buildup of a certain individual and then all of a sudden he doesn't get the shot. And I'm talking about Shinsuke Nakamura.
Oh!
I don't like the fact that he went all the way through the gauntlet match just to get pinned and then KO gets the shot. I've seen this KO match. It just seems like I've seen this matchup 100 times already. I would have liked to have seen Shinsuke get the shot. Maybe he does get the shot at WrestleMania. Maybe he wins the Royal Rumble again. I don't know. But there's a hesitancy, it seems like, to push this guy, and he should have been the biggest babyface ever. And then when he got to SmackDown, it's like after those matches with AJ, it's like ooh, downward spiral. And I'm just wondering if that's a race. Don't push the Japanese guy.
I was just about to say that.
I hate to be ignorant, but
I mean, I hate to say that too, but to give a little bit of credence to that, Nakamura still can't speak fucking English.
Really, yeah.
I mean,
At least Oscar made an attempt.
yeah, I mean, Asuka makes an attempt, and then everybody comes out the woodwork to pick at her online.
Oh, yeah.
I know that doesn't bother her, but I mean, what does it say about the fan base?
Yeah.
It's like, here's a person, you want them to speak English, they try to speak English, and you lampoon them every week. So if you're Nakamura or you're Io Shirai, why would you even try?
Yeah.
When the fan base is continually xenophobic and just dogs you every chance.
And that Alexa Bliss segment was bad. I like Alexa Bliss, but that segment was bad for Asuka.
Yeah, like I agree that Nakamura could be bigger and better than what he is. Bigger. I just don't think the Machine. I just don't think he's what they're like. They gave him that Rumble win, and that was his moment, I guess. Mm-hmm. And I think Nakamura's career in the WWE, for however long he chooses to remain there, he's going to be in that Dolph Ziggler territory where he's going to be he's the workhorse and everybody loves him and he's going to be comfortable and taken care of. Yeah. But he's not going to get that shine, you know. Which, for a guy like Nakamura, I don't know if that's something he even wants. I mean, he's obviously making a comfortable living. Yeah. You know, he loves living in America, apparently. You know, his family's here now, so maybe that's enough for him, you know?
It's probably because I'm such a mark, and you know that. I know how much I mark out for Nakamura. Go ahead, Will. I know you're chomping at the bit here.
No, I'm going to hold it for the Rumble match.
You're going to hold it for the Rumble. Okay, he's holding it.
Well, I'll give you my prediction for this match super quick. Of course, Roman Reigns wins. Duh.
Yeah, I mean, this is almost a no-brainer. Yeah. He's going to WrestleMania.
No, I think they'll have a good match. Yeah. But
I think you're going to see somebody after that match that's going to put Roman in check.
Go ahead.
If you smell.
Oh, no.
If you smell what the People's Champ is cooking.
I think that's a match they want. I just don't know if it's a match they're going to get.
I think the build-up is not going to be for this WrestleMania. It's going to be for the next one.
It could.
Roman Reigns could lose this match.
Here's the thing about The Rock, and you know, I don't know if we mentioned on the program before, but it always goes back to his Hollywood schedule. Yeah. It always goes back to insurance, and it's just a matter if he's got the time in his schedule to commit to WWE for a month, 2 months, 3 months, however long they need him to build a program. And that's as simple as that. I mean, I think Rock would be willing. I think he's and interviews talking about he'd face Roman Reigns.
But you know what, Reggie? I think you're actually proving Will's point because having the year out, you can plan everything around it.
That's true.
You know, and how much filming has been for projects that Rock is on, like
Black Adam,
Red Notice, and Jungle Cruise, and all that stuff happened during COVID.
True.
And them shits hadn't even come out yet.
Yeah, and we've got a lot that hasn't been released, and we got a lot that can't. Some things can't be filmed still.
So that means, you know, not knowing the Rock schedule because he's a busy guy, but I would imagine maybe his 21 is not as busy as it would normally be. So that's time for him to do some appearances on Raw when they have fans later this year. Right. Get the maximum bang for your buck. And then we got 26,000 people at WrestleMania this year. We're going to have 100,000 next year.
That's right.
Yeah. And they all, you know, Will, I think you've convinced me, Will. I think you might have convinced me. So KO wins the title, right?
KO wins the title.
Okay. Oh, wait a minute now.
But this could go either way. If The Rock is not the one to cause Roman to lose, it will be the Beast.
I think
it will be Brock. Brock was going to take out his frustrations on Paul Heyman and Roman Reigns.
That's the match that I think is the most likely. And then you could build The Rock for 2021. I like that idea. I'm with you guys. But I think Roman Reigns is going to retain here and be the champion.
I think there'll be some fuckery, no matter who it is. Because my dark horse is going to be a return to Seth Rollins.
Now there you go.
Seth Rollins versus Roman at WrestleMania.
There's an interesting.
So you could have Rollins come back.
They are on the same program, aren't they? That's why I forgot all about it. I'm so used to Rollins being the Monday Night Messiah. I forget.
But you forget Roman and Seth have a beef with a certain Miz TV.
Oh no!
Remember that one now.
Okay,
I see the Miz winning the Rumble.
Okay, well before we talk about the men's Rumble, let's talk about.
Let him calm down from his fever.
Yeah, calm down from the fever. I got a fever, and his only prescription is more Brock Lesnar.
No. The Miz solidifies his because he's been saying he wants another shot at the title, the WWE title. He has Money in the Bank on one side, win the Rumble on the other side. You have nowhere to go but Miz.
I'm just having a hard time swallowing that one. I think it's the same problem I have with KO winning the belt. When you kind of put somebody in the background for so long and de-push them and they haven't been in the spotlight, and then all of a sudden you bring them forth, I have a hard time believing that guy hasn't won anything in so long, I can't see him just upsetting the status quo right away.
I love Kevin Owens. I loved him years ago. He's one of my favorites of all time. He's a great dude, but he's not going to be the guy unless he shows up with a 6-pack and a tan. That's just the WWE. Look at their champs right now. You got Roman Reigns and you got fucking Drew McIntyre.
And you got Drew McIntyre.
And you got Drew McIntyre and fucking Goldberg and Brock Lesnar and like all those guys, like they want that to be their alpha guy. And so not to put too fine a point on it, but with Big E, Big E's in tremendous shape.
Yes.
But Big E's not 6'6".
Nope.
And I think about that a lot. Like Big E has everything, but he's
he's got the Chris Benoit thing.
Yeah, he doesn't fit that mold. So I wonder, it's like, I always think every year, is this going to be the year where they embrace something different? And every year I'm disappointed because it doesn't happen. Daniel Bryan and Kofi were as close to everyman champions we've ever had, and fans loved them, but it didn't turn money at the cash register.
Yeah, and
like
it didn't.
Brett and Sean.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard to argue against what they're doing because they show time and time again, we put the belt on the people you guys like. You don't buy the shirts, you don't tune in, you don't buy the pay-per-views. But we put it on, I guess, we put it on a guy like Goldberg, and at least for a bit you've got that uptick. I mean, it's kind of hard to argue against the math of what actually works and what doesn't work. So,
And I was at the NXT show when Drew McIntyre was there, and he happened to walk by and shake hands, and I'm like this. So he's tall. He's at least 6'4", 6'5".
That dude's yoked.
Yeah,
You can grab his abs like an apple.
He's straight yoked. All right, before we get
Let's go to the rumored matches. You said you have a list of them, right?
What's that?
The rumored match?
Yes. Do you want to go to that before we go to the two
I don't have them on
rumbles?
my list, so.
All right. So before we go to the two rumbles, now hang in there, guys, because I know it's going to get exciting. All right, so we have some projections. These may or may not happen. I have Intercontinental Championship Big E versus Sami Zayn in a rematch. I don't see Sami Zayn taking the title back, so I'm going to pick Big E.
So I'll say this. Here's the bellwether. If Big E drops the Intercontinental title, he's winning the Rumble.
Yes.
No.
Could happen.
If Big E drops the title, and if the rumors that are going around are true, he will drop the belt to Booker T.
What?
Tell me about
this. All right, where do you
Booker
get
T
that?
Booker T is coming back and is projected to join the Hurt Business.
Oh, man. That would
WWE,
cool. If you're watching, that would get me to tune in on Monday. Thank you. Five times.
All day long.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know where you heard the rumor from, but it's an interesting rumor, and I would watch that. But I thought I just watched a Booker cut. Of course, it could be he could be fabing everybody that he said I'm done.
But Booker's always in good shape.
Booker is training for the Rumble.
He even said that. He's like man, Book, you're in great. You look like you're in great shape, but he goes, why don't you compete anymore? And he said, you don't wake up every day with aches and pains like I do. So I understand that too.
I know that life.
Yeah. So me and you have lived it.
But I'm okay with Sami Zayn being the Intercontinental Champ. He's brought some life to it. He's an interesting character these days. He's kind of his own thing. It's hard to classify him, but I don't know. Like I said, my hope is Big E wins the Rumble, and if he does, he can't have the Intercontinental title. So
yeah, what is so funny about the IC Championship, the way it was back in the day, it was like the workhorse title. That guy that was real technical and could work with anybody, and now it just seems like it bounces back and forth. It doesn't, there's nobody that's really held that belt like long term.
Honky Tonk Man.
In a while. Well, no, I said in a while. In a while. Hang on, in a while.
You talk about guys that can work with anybody. That's the fucking Miz.
Yeah, that's
Miz
true.
Can work with anybody.
Right there.
He can do anything. He can adapt to The Rock or John Cena or Kevin Owens. He can have a good match with anybody, but he's Rodney Dangerfield. The man gets no respect.
Yeah, and wrong channel. He'd have to go for the U.S. title.
On other yeah. So that's a U.S. title match.
Speaking of U.S. title match,
that's a segue, folks.
Bobby Lashley versus Riddle, which has been being built up.
Riddle
on Raw, yeah.
Whack.
Oh, you haven't seen Riddle in the Hurt Business?
I saw him stomp that dude's foot in the camera.
well, yeah. I mean,
he stomped it, and the cameraman had like X amount of space, and Bobby purposely missed him, dude.
Wow.
Yikes. Well, anyway.
I thought it was
things
hilarious.
happen in the world of wrestling. Always.
If that match happens, I think we all lose.
Yeah. Well,
Riddle could be good for the title.
Matthew from Botchamania, stand by if this match happens.
Yes. They did the work for you. No disrespect to those guys, but I just, it's not exactly ballet when those two guys get together. I mean, I love Bobby Lashley and Matt Riddle's okay. That match just has no excitement for me.
Once again, we've got such an underdeveloped undercard.
Yeah.
It's not even, you know, you got Hurt Business all together. So once you start putting these factions together, it's like, okay, who's left on the babyface side? So we've got like Riddle and Ricochet and guys that haven't really been established. There's nobody to really get excited about.
And
that's what I have the problem with.
We will see a return of what the prediction I told you was going to happen.
Okay, we got one more projected match, and like I said, these may happen, these may not. We're waiting on announcements. WWE likes to wait till the last minute on these. I've got Women's Tag Team Championship, Asuka and Charlotte Flair versus Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. I say the champs drop the belts.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we're building up maybe for Asuka and Charlotte to have a singles match, or Becky Lynch comes back at some point and she gets involved, maybe a triple threat. That's kind of what I'm thinking.
I think they drop the titles because one of them will win the Rumble.
Yeah, that could be too.
They dropped the title.
I got a different pick for the Rumble.
Oh, I already got a pick for the Rumble. Yeah. Oh, God. Asuka and Charlotte Flair are going to feud into SummerSlam.
Okay.
I could see that, yeah.
For the women's title, and then you'll see Becky Lynch come back. I don't think Becky should come back. If they're pushing for her to come back right now,
no, there's no need.
You don't really need it.
There's no one's there to see it anyway. So.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
but SummerSlam by then we should have maybe 50-75% capacity.
Get some fans,
well,
and then
a real main event.
Yeah, then we'll get Becky back.
Yeah.
I'm with you on that.
Got a little excited about that, Will.
Yeah.
I was thinking about Becky running out.
He gets excited about some things.
Well, the women's Rumble.
Okay, we talk women's Rumble.
If he got Shotzi Blackheart to win the Royal Rumble, we wouldn't see him.
You hear that, Shotzi? You hear that?
He loves him some Shotzi Blackheart, I swear. Let's go for the women's Royal Rumble match. I've got now these, like I said, there's a lot to be announced here, but known participants that we have Nia Jax, Charlotte Flair, Bayley, Bianca Belair, Mandy Rose, Dana Brooke, Peyton Royce, Shayna Baszler, Alexa Bliss, and then 21 participants to be announced. So I'll take this one. Alexa Bliss wins the Royal Rumble.
That's my pick too.
Yeah,
you might be right.
Yeah,
I'm going with Ronda Rousey. Ronda Rousey makes her return at the Rumble and wins it.
But there's no once again, I'm with the crowd thing. If Ronda's going to make a comeback, it's got to be at WrestleMania or it's got to be at one of these shows that has fans. And I just don't. If the Rumble doesn't have fans, the Rumble's not having fans, right?
No.
They're still doing the video drome, whatever that. Thunderdome.
Yeah.
Then no, I don't see her coming back yet.
Then,
I think that's what they've held off so long.
Then,
I really do.
Yeah, you're right. Alexa's going to win, but I'm pulling for Bianca on this one.
The possessed,
I think
possessed Alexa Bliss.
So I think I can see Alexa Bliss winning. If I had to put money on it, I think that's where I would be. But I think Charlotte and Asuka, because I think this year, this Rumble, with everything being so weird, I don't think they're going to try to break any new ground. I think they're just going to try to maintain the status quo until the fans come back. Mm-hmm. Because like last year when Drew got his title in an empty-ass building, I don't think they want to create any new moments like that in front of an empty building.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So you have Charlotte win again. It'll be her second win. I mean, she obviously is in the upper echelon of talent. It's not like she wouldn't deserve it.
Right.
10 times.
But then you have, fuel for the feud with Asuka, which I can see too, and also you don't have to waste that Rumble moment. I hate to say waste it because I'm sure anyone who wins it, they'd be thrilled to have that moment. But I feel like it's kind of a waste to give it to a young talent in front of an empty building.
The only thing, that's true. And the only thing about Charlotte is why I'm not leaning towards her is because we've still got this Lacey Evans thing going on. Yeah, we still have that going on. So I don't think that's going to be resolved.
Lordy. Maybe that's going to be the next pay-per-view.
Now, for Elimination Chamber or Fastlane, I can see that, but I don't see that as a Mania match.
No.
So you got to wrap that up by then. But I just don't see Charlotte winning the Rumble to get the title shot yet. Maybe somebody else wins it and goes for the SmackDown Women's title, and then maybe at the EC she gets a shot at it or something.
Now, what's the chance?
Or
because you can only pick one champion.
Yeah, so, and there's three.
Three
NXT.
I forgot about that. I forgot about that. That was weird when Charlotte did that. She picked the NXT title instead.
Io Shirai has been kicking ass for a long time, and you look at the women's situation over there in NXT. It's starting to do this. kind of like it was doing when Rhea Ripley was the champion.
Yeah.
Hey, Charlotte's going back to the NXT title. She's going to set a trend.
That could be.
You could. Maybe it's not her. Maybe they send Bailey back, or maybe they send somebody like that. No, I'm just saying. I can see a current SmackDown talent, or even a Raw one, going back to NXT just to pump up that brand. Is what I'm saying. I mean, you've picked Charlotte to do that. It could be somebody else. But
Dark horse pick. Ivory comes back and wins.
Yeah,
and she comes in at 30. No, she comes in at 1 and stays the whole
Ivory
stays the whole match, and then she wins.
I got real excited when Molly Holly got in.
Yes, I did too.
Yes,
I did.
Yeah, because the surprise entrants make the Rumble. It's such a little extra.
Yeah, the little extras make.
Because you got Melina sitting in the wings. You got Eva Marie.
Yep.
Yeah, true.
Who else is there?
I mean, Lita is always a possibility.
Lita's always a possibility.
Trish Stratus.
Yeah. There's a lot of talented ladies out there.
You can always pop them in there.
Naomi's coming back.
Hope so.
Oh yeah, that's like Naomi's.
Yeah.
I keep hoping Alicia Fox will come back one day.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Like we could do a 30 for 30 on Alicia Fox. What might have been.
Hey, I feel
probably one of the most talented men or women, most talented people they've ever had on the roster. You know, nothing to show for. I mean, I'm sure she's got plenty of money, but like not the hardware and the moments. You know, that a career that as long as hers should have had.
No,
kind of like Ron Simmons in the WWE.
Here's my dark horse right here. What was that chick? The Funkadactyl Cameron or whatever.
Cameron, yeah.
That said her favorite match was, what was it? She told Stone Cold on top of that. I forgot what it was.
Yeah, she said something silly.
Some women's match. Yeah, it was some women's match that happened like a couple of years ago, and he's like, "That's your favorite match of all time." That's your favorite match of all time, huh?
What?
All right. What I think will be the main event. The men's Royal Rumble match. Here we go. Here's where we're going to get some excitement going here, because I really don't have a pick for this. But here's who we know. We know that Daniel Bryan's in the match, Bobby Lashley, AJ Styles, Randy Orton, Otis.
Why y'all laughing?
Main event. I like Otis, but he's a comedy gimmick. Main event. The main event player Jey Uso is what they're calling him now. Or the main event Jey Uso, Cesaro, Jeff Hardy, and 22 to be announced participants. Yow!
22 guys who can pass a COVID test.
Yeah, 22. Exactly.
Wow! Good luck with that. Whoa! Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson is in the Rumble.
No. No.
It's official.
Signed to Impact, brother.
They are going to be in the Rumble.
They've been everywhere the last couple of weeks.
I don't know.
It's already in. Watch.
Okay, I'll watch.
I wouldn't mind seeing Kenny Omega come with them.
Oh, that's not going to happen.
That won't happen. Yeah.
They said he wasn't coming to Impact neither.
Well, they have a working relationship with WWE. They don't. I know your theory that they do, but no.
No,
you might see John Moxley come back and use his opt-out clause in his contract.
You'll see Kenny Omega getting popcorn in the stands. Stands.
I think somebody like Brutus Beefcake has a better chance of entering the Royal Rumble than Omega. And this is not in terms of talent. It's
fucking
just
Barber Beefcake.
Not in terms of talent. I'm just saying because of contractual obligation.
Shout out to Conrad Thompson.
Where's
This is my favorite.
If you're not watching our show, you should be. This segment sponsored by Blue Chew. We don't have sponsors. I'm kidding.
When things are
but
down,
if you want to
pick them up with Blue Chew.
Oh my God! This is my favorite episode here.
I dropped my freaking notes.
I'm
sorry, I'm laughing so hard.
So the men's Rumble match.
Let's go.
I've got two different paths I think this could go down.
All right.
And it ties into the Universal title match and the WWE title match.
All right.
So, the scenario A, the one I hope happens. Drew McIntyre loses the title to Goldberg.
Yes.
Right? And then sets up Drew versus Goldberg at Mania, like I mentioned earlier. And your Royal Rumble winner is Big E.
Okay.
Yep. And then Big E goes on to challenge Roman Reigns at WrestleMania, and that would still leave the door open for this Rock thing, which I suddenly am agreeing that could happen.
Yeah.
Now, my scenario B, Drew McIntyre beats Goldberg, and then takes on a returning Seth Rollins at WrestleMania
That's a possibility.
as your main event. And then Roman Reigns and Owens have their third match at WrestleMania as the main event.
Okay.
Those are my two predictions.
That's your two predictions.
Oh, and the Rumble winner would be Seth, because he's going to be a surprise entrant.
All right, let's go to Will Span. Will.
Royal Rumble winner, The Miz.
Oh, man. I thought he was kidding about that.
He's sticking with
No,
that.
I'm gonna tell you why. His show is number 2 on the USA Network.
The Mr. and Mrs. Miz, really?
Yes, sir. 2.
Number 2.
So it would seem be a good business move to put the title on the Money in the Bank.
I just
And
thought of
Maurice
something.
comes back as well too.
Okay.
At the Rumble. She'll be in the Final 4, and the next little spat that I can't talk right. Her and the Miz is going to fight over who did better at the Rumble, and the Miz is going to be able to say, "I won." That's material on TV.
That's actually an interesting theory, Will.
You've all presented solid theories. Here's the one that I think may be the most likely. If we're holding off The Rock for a year, then you've got to have an intriguing main event that will sell some tickets, especially if we have a live gate. I anticipate the return of one Brock Lesnar.
I didn't say it either.
No, I can see this happening. It's like, would you want Roman and Brock again at WrestleMania? Well, this time the stakes are a little bit different.
And the roles are changing.
Paul Heyman is now with Roman Reigns.
Okay.
Brock Lesnar is on his own. So there's your intrigue for a rematch. Not necessarily, you're putting two people together that have been together numerous times, but you got a little bit different circumstances this time. And this time, if that goes to WrestleMania, I think Roman Reigns finally gets his clean victory over Brock. His decided victory. I don't think Brock comes back and wins the belt.
I got one for you. Brock does come back. Kevin Owens wins the belt. Feud between Brock and Roman for the next 2 pay-per-views before WrestleMania. Triple threat: Brock, Roman, and The Rock. That's if they don't go with the year. WWE is known for squashing everything all in one time real fast.
Yeah.
And they stay in the same rut that they're always
Not
doing.
that I'm saying it can't happen. That one, of the theories that have been presented, I find that one the least likely. Just because that would be something different, and WWE is pretty much sticking to whatever they think is going to sell the most.
I think we could see Brock versus Rock at WrestleMania. You got me thinking about that now. Letting Brock win the Rumble, and then Roman obviously retains the title, and they have their match, and then maybe, because the Paul Heyman thing is intriguing. I didn't think
That's
about
intriguing,
that.
yeah.
So then we got Paul Heyman, who's now on the other side of the equation, turns on Roman. Brock does the save, and I'll see you in a year.
Yep.
Yeah,
Got goosebumps.
Oh, I like that.
Yep.
I like that one too.
So if it happens, folks, you heard it here first.
Or Big Money John, the resurgence of the NWO.
You mean Johnny Largemeat?
No, John Cena.
I see. You've said that for several weeks. I can see John Cena popping up for a few months. I don't see this NWO resurgence you're talking about.
It's gonna come back. The boys are gonna put the band back together.
I don't see it.
I'm gonna hear that corny music again.
I've seen fanfic on this, and it's intriguing as hell. But I just don't see.
Bro, you have to read less than fan fiction.
I would put over the channel if I remembered what it was.
Oh, okay.
But there's somebody that does they do the animation from the video games, and then they set the storylines up.
Oh, one of those deals.
And and it had a scenario like what if John Cena ran the NWO in WWE, and it's intriguing, but I just don't.
I don't see Cena coming back for that.
I don't see anybody being that creative at
I
WWE for one thing.
Well, I'm not going to say that, but Cena's making too much money in Hollywood.
Yeah,
He can't be on TV every day.
Like I said, if it's a comeback, it's got to be real short.
Yeah.
Him
He'll
and
probably show up
Hogan
at
in the
Mania, but no
in the
match.
same light. If you put John Cena and Hogan in the same light, their careers are running parallel.
I don't disagree with that. I just think that their personalities. I don't think John Cena wants to alienate himself from any fans.
The one thing he needs to do is flip and turn bad.
He won't.
He becomes legendary then.
He never will.
If he did, though, I'm trust me, I'm on the bus with you. If he did, it would turn the business over. It would change everything.
That would have
but it's not going to happen.
That would have happened a long time ago.
Vince's bills will be paid instantly.
Hang on, Will. I think that would have happened a long time ago. And I don't think Roman would have flipped if they were even remotely thinking about flipping Cena heel. I don't think. Then you have to have the golden boy to go against him, which would have been Roman. He just stayed babyface. That's what I think. But anyway,
Brock.
Huh?
What about Brock? Brock has never been a good guy.
He would be in the scenario if he faced Roman.
Ohio Valley Tag Team Champions. Who were they?
Shelton Benjamin and Brock Lesnar.
How about Brock Lesnar and John Cena?
Were they?
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember that.
Ohio Valley Tag Champions.
I'm not going to go that far. I'm going to go that deep down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, that's deep down the rabbit hole.
You got me thinking of? You got me thinking of John Cena wearing the NWO You Can't See Me shirt, and he's like, I said we were taking over. And guess what? We took over. And then you got the Miz running around like Buff Bagwell.
I can see it.
And then you got Big E as the big Papa Pump of the group, right? And then
largest arms in the world.
And then that real tall black dude from NXT. He's I can't remember his
name. Madden.
Like he's their he's their their guy in the background. Like that's the image in my head that you put in everything.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Interesting.
Retribution. Yeah.
Oh, Mustafa Ali would be good for that John Cena NWO.
Yeah.
That is
we say that for
okay. Well,
maybe that for its own episode. Yeah.
Man. Yeah. Let's save some of this fantasy booking for another episode.
Brainstorming.
Bottom line is, it should be a great show.
Yeah, should be a great show. We're looking forward to the Rumble on January 31st.
Miz TV.
For Will Smith over here that can't stop talking.
I'm excited about this.
It's Jay Scott. All right, we're excited for the Rumble, guys. We will see you next time on the Will and Willis Show. Jay Scott, thanks for coming. Once again, plug your podcast real quick.
5fortheroad.com. That is the number 5fortheroad.com.
All right, thank you, YouTube. Like, share, and subscribe, and check out the Will and Willis podcast on Facebook. Good day.